In today's Quickie, we're reviewing the 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. This one's priced at over $73,000. If you want to see a full in-depth review on the Toyota 4Runner, check out my main channel, Kirk Rifles, for a long-term review. The engine just turned on. We have a 2.4 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, mated to an electric motor that's good for about 50 horsepower and a lot of torque, about 200 pound-feet of torque, that little electric motor. Total system output is 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed auto. It is rear-wheel drive with a transfer case for 4x4. The TRD Pro also has this cool air box. I'm seeing about 20 miles per gallon taking my kids to school this week. On the front end of the 4Runner TRD Pro, we have the Heritage Toyota lettering, a 20-inch light bar. We have the upgraded daytime running lights here with the upgraded headlights, and notice it says Pro there. Rigid Industries fog lamps right here. Underneath we have a recovery hook, a TRD Pro skid plate that's quite long, and we have 3-way adjustable Fox shocks on the front and the rear depending on how firm you want your shocks to be. Really neat TRD control arms here with the red springs. We have 33-inch all-terrain Toyo tires here on TRD 18-inch wheels. We have the cool TRD badge on the top. Nice luggage rack on this. This has the glossy over fenders. It's the only 4Runner to have the glossy over fenders. Most of them have a matte variation. If you look at the Trailhunter, the same wheel arches are just matte finished instead of this glossy black. Pretty neat LED taillights. Big full-size spare tire underneath with a recovery point. We do have a TRD tuned exhaust there. It doesn't look special, but you notice it when you drive. Receiver hitch, I-Force Max to let you know that this is a hybrid. We do have the window that does roll down back here. A raised floor to accommodate the electrical side of things. We have a little underfloor storage. It is a bit flimsy. AC outlet for 2400 watt accessory power. We also have this really neat Toyota air compressor here. You can see that this is available as a 3-row, not in the TRD Pro, but in the SR5 and the Limited, if I remember correctly. And that's why you have cup holders in the back. Not a lot of cargo space back here. Enough for my kids, but we have to stack the backpacks in the front seat due to the limited storage in the passenger area. Do have a fold-down armrest, 2 USB-Cs, a additional AC power outlet here, AC vents, big cup holder here, some TRD stitching, JBL sound system speaker there. Now there's no handle. There's a handle in the back seats and on the front passenger, but no handle to get on the driver's side with this lifted 4Runner. TRD Pro here on the armrest, big JBL logo down here, memory seats. Here are the TRD specific seats with the camo finish. Doesn't say TRD on the headrest, that would have been neat. But it does say it on the steering wheel. And this feels just like a Toyota Tacoma on the inside. I like the TRD badge shifter, the large knob for downhill ascent control, drive select, and multi-terrain select. For example, here are your different modes. Now we're in 4 high, we can put it in multi-terrain select and twist the dial for different modes here. Pretty cool. We have this large 14-inch screen, which is standard here on this TRD Pro. I believe there is a smaller screen on lesser grades. Large volume knob, even larger rotary dial climate control. Pretty nifty. And I still have a backup screen here for fan speed control. I have ventilated seats in here, heated steering wheel, a couple cup holders. Standard on this model is stabilizer bar disconnect for the front, and we have a rear locking differential. Also standard on this model is a 360 top-down camera. Braking is absolutely fantastic in the TRD Pro despite these big tires, and it doesn't really matter what mode you're in because the TRD Pro is always ready to party. And that's true also for the SR5 grade that I found and reviewed earlier this year, the base grade, which doesn't have a hybrid electric powertrain like this model. That only has about 275 horsepower, about 50 horsepower down compared to this model. But this model is noticeably heavier versus the SR5. So when you do throw it around the turn, you do feel like it is more heavy and it is not as nimble or as playful through the turns like a base SR5, for example. I don't have paddle shifters, but I can play with the gears a little bit with this S mode. Just below 2000 RPM, you do get a loud howl from the exhaust pipe. That was a trait with the previous TRD Pro 4Runner, a 5th gen, for example. It had a quite loud and howling exhaust note, and it was more evident in that model because you only had 5 gears to pick from in that automatic. This being an 8-speed, the loud exhaust isn't quite as drony or annoying. I do have acoustic glass on this model, which makes it respectively quiet, and I don't get a lot of tire noise from the road either. It's mostly exhaust note, with every once in a while some hints of a turbo hiss and some whining from that electric motor. Overall, it's pretty quiet. Ride quality, even though these Fox shocks are on the softest setting, it's still a bit jittery in here, a bit firm. But this is an off-road focused vehicle, and ride quality on road probably wasn't the highest priority. The ride quality in the base SR5 4Runner, for example, I remember to be a little bit more cozy and comfy and soft, yet still being more fun to throw in the turns with its lighter weight. But stay tuned for my full review on the TRD Pro 4Runner. It is very expensive, it is very well equipped, but is it worth the price versus some of the lesser 4Runners in the lineup? I'll address that and more in my full-length review on my main channel, Kirk Kreifels. Thank you for watching this quickie, and I'll see you in the next one.